I shared this first on Instagram and it exploded. It went so viral. And so I thought I would bring it over to you guys. I think what everybody really appreciated about this is that it literally was every step you needed in order to have an automated business. There was no gatekeeping. And the other thing that everybody on Instagram really liked about this was that I pulled from actual students. I've had a handful of students now who have crossed over the 7-figure mark. They did it from $0 to $1 million in a year, and I wrote down everything that they did. Now, some of the steps that I'm going to share here, again, it's a massive step thing here. Some of the steps are short and easy. Others require a deep dive. So if there's something here that requires a deep dive, go to my YouTube channel. Go look at the other videos I have on this channel. Anything, any one of these steps, any one of the things that I reference, there is a video on it that goes into it in depth. So don't panic. The goal for this video is for you to literally have all the steps, and then you can pick which ones you want clarity on. You can pick which ones you need support on. Like I wrote here, if there's a step you need more info on, go through my channel. I have tons of videos here on all topics as it relates to automated businesses, marketing, product creation, picking the right price point, how to know where to sell it, how to know what platform to choose, all of that I have here on this channel. Hundreds of videos that are going to support you no matter what step this is. But this is a 31-step process, so let's just get into this. Step 1. Oh, and by the way, just really quick before I get into it, in case you don't know me, my name is Maria. I was like, you might be, if this goes viral, you probably might be the first video you've seen of me. So my name is Maria. I've made $14 million selling digital products. I help my students do the same. You're in the right place. So that's my credibility. All right, let's dive in. Step 1 is to commit to the process. People like the idea of an automated business, but it's a process to build. The work doesn't come after you've built the business so much as it comes before while you're building it. So it's a process that you need to commit to. If you can't commit to the ups and the downs and the curves and the frustrations and everything that's going to come with an automated business and building it, don't even start. That's why this is step 1, is because I promise you, as you go through this process, even hearing all the 31 steps, you might be like, this is too much work. The beauty of an automated business is that once it's built, you only have to build it once, and it works for you around the clock to make sales. I wake up with an inbox full of sales. That's amazing. But the process to get there was filled with trial and error and filled with doing a lot of things wrong. So your commitment to the process, honestly, I know that sounds really weird, but it's the most important step of all of this, because if you can commit to the process, you will figure out the other 30 steps. But if you don't commit to the process, none of the other 30 steps matter. So step 1, commit to the process. Step 2, along those lines, but different, accept the realistic results you will have, especially at first. If you don't know me, you should know that I am the queen of there's no such thing as getting rich quick. You can get rich slow and you can get rich steady. That's what I've done. But you have to accept the realistic results that you will have, especially at first. Just for context, to set the scene, in my first year, I made $63. In my second year, I made like a total of $400. In the last 15 days, do you want to know how much I made? $408,000 in cash collected over a essentially 2-week period. So if you can't accept the realistic results at first, you miss out on the absolutely unrealistic results that come later. But it is slow at first, and that's just, you've got to accept that. That's fine. Step 3, you have to, and again, the rest of this is practical after this one, but there's 3 important mindset things first. So 1, commit to the process. 2, accept the realistic results. 3, this is what I wrote. Channel a deep-rooted belief that you can actually make money online. My video that's pinned to my channel is what to do if you don't believe you can make money online. Most of you should watch that, because most of you deep down do not believe that you can actually make money online. You don't. And that's fine. That's common. That's normal. It's not even being a skeptic. It's just typical. But if you don't believe that you can make money online, you're right, you can't. And so you have to believe that this is actually going to work, you have to channel a deeply rooted, unshakable belief that it might take time to figure out, but you are going to make money online. If you don't believe that, I highly recommend you watch the video that's pinned to my channel on that, because it's going to help clear up some limiting beliefs you have around that. People love that video. It's so helpful for them. So go watch that. They literally cry when they watch it. I get comments pretty much every day from someone saying they cried when they watch it. So it's a really good video. If you don't believe you can make money, that's you got to do that, because if you don't believe you make money, every other practical, I'm going to go into all the practical stuff now, but if you don't believe you can make money, not so good. Okay. Step 4, decide the hyper-specific problem you will solve for people. So people do this wrong, and they solve very general problems like, oh, I'm going to be a relationship coach. I'm going to be a parenting coach. I'm going to do SEO for people. But what I have found is that you need to actually solve a hyper-specific problem. So instead of me being a business coach, this was back, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago, I decided that the hyper-specific problem I was going to solve for people is getting them clients. I was so good at helping people get clients specifically. Not offer strategy, not pricing strategy, not even really marketing strategy so much as I will get you clients. And that was the hyper-specific problem I solved for people. Before that, I was designing logos for a really long time, websites for a really long time. And that's kind of how I got into the getting clients niche, was because the websites were not just websites. I'm going to make you websites that get you clients. So you can kind of see how I started designing websites, and I was like, well, you just need help getting clients. I'll help you do that. And that's how that merged. But it's hyper specific. It's not just enough to create a website for someone or to be a relationship coach. What's the hyper specific? And I use that word very intentionally, not specific, hyper specific problem you're solving for people. If you can do that, you will make money. Which brings us to step 5, which is to choose the group of people you will help or your niche. Now, the thing is, when you choose a hyper-specific problem that you're solving for people, your niche will naturally find itself. So people spend so much time worrying about their niche. They spend so much time trying to make a really hyper-specific niche. I help women who are 45 to 55 lose 10 pounds of belly fat. They're the moms of 3 kids, and their husbands are deployed in the military, and they have a golden retriever. That's a hyper-specific niche. You should not have a hyper-specific niche. You should solve a hyper-specific problem, and the people who have that problem will naturally come to you. And so most people do that all backwards. They worry way too much about who's going to be buying their product and not enough about the actual problem their product is going to solve. But when you solve problems well, people line up to pay you. That is what my students realize. My students who are running 7-figure businesses and my students who are running 6-figure businesses, they are solving hyper-specific problems for people. And they don't even really worry about their niche that much, because they know that if they solve a hyper-specific problem, the people who naturally need that problem solved will come to them. Step 6 is to schedule in 2 hours per day of work time. You've got to fit it in. Now, I'm a single mom, and I don't really have a nanny right now on purpose, because I want to be with my kid. So I probably have maybe 5 hours a week of childcare, if that. I think 5 hours a week of childcare might be exaggerating, but let's just say 5 hours a week. That's when I film. Right now, my daughter's on the beach with her nanny and the dogs, and she's thriving. And in 30 minutes, we're literally going to the pool, me and her together. So I guess the equivalent would be if I had a 9-to-5 job, or if I was a stay-at-home mom. I basically am a stay-at-home mom. And so where on earth do you find the 2 hours per day? Do you want to know what time I woke up at today? 4:50. I work early and I work late. And that's just what you do. Eventually you can get to the point where if I chose to have a nanny, I would only be working 2 hours a day. I really only work 2 hours a day. It's super doable, right? Because I don't have, if you think about it this way, my job is mostly to take care of Ellie, and then I have about 2 hours of work time a day, averaged out. And that's super doable, actually. It doesn't feel doable when we're in the transition stage of our life and we have maybe a full-time job or other kids or whatever else we're doing. An extra 2 hours a day feels impossible, but it's actually really doable. I promise you. I don't watch TV There is a tragedy that happened yesterday at the time of filming yesterday, and I didn't even know who it was that had been shot. Like, I don't follow the news at all. I don't watch the news. There's a Netflix movie that everyone's talking about that I want to watch it. I just haven't got a chance. So I'm really intentional with my time. You've got to figure out where you're going to be scheduling those 2 hours per day. Early in the morning or late at night, but you got to do it. Step 7, this is a really important one, and I'm not going to get emotional. Do any inner work you need to do to be brave enough to start. I don't think we talk about enough the sabotage that we do to ourselves, not when we're worried something won't work, but when deep down we're worried something will work. If this works and you actually have an automated business that makes you hundreds of dollars a day, that's realistic. $100 a day is like $3,000 a month. That's really realistic. But if it actually works and you actually do this, what parts of your life are going to get uncomfortable? What relationships are going to have to go? What are you afraid of? Not with failure, but success. You have to do that inner work because you don't realize right now how much you're sabotaging yourself by not showing up and not being consistent. And all the procrastination you're doing is because you're worried about what if it works, not what if it fails. And it might not seem that way at the surface, but if you deep down and you drill down enough, it's going to come up. I've coached hundreds of students through this, and they start making money like that once we get them through it because we walk them through that fear. Step 8, this is exciting. Make your first piece of content answering a very specific question. So content that does really well, mind you, I have a pretty big audience. I've been doing this for 2 years. I have a pretty big audience. The more specific you are with your content, the better it does. Because people are looking, at this point, everything's so oversaturated that general stuff doesn't matter anymore. Like how to become wealthy, no one's watching that. But how to turn a $24 order into a $400 order, that does really well. So your first piece of content is going to be answering a very specific question around the problem you're going to be solved, that hyper-specific problem you decided on in step 4. Step 9 is to publish that content to Instagram. Big deal here. To publish your first piece of content on Instagram is a tremendous milestone. Most of my students skip past this milestone and they don't even celebrate themselves. But the ability to put a piece of content out there is incredible. It's freaking incredible. And so publish that content. Just celebrate after you do it. Because step 9 is huge. Most people, sadly, watching this won't ever get to step 9. So if you get to step 9 and you publish that, you made that piece of content that answers a very specific question, and then you publish it to Instagram, you need to celebrate yourself because most people never get there. Now, that brings me to step 10. Don't look at the views it gets and don't care. That's hard to do because your instinct, your fear of rejection, your desire to control is going to want to be all over those metrics. Oh my gosh, it only got 50 views. I'm a failure. No one ever wants my stuff. The drama starts. Don't look at the views and don't care. You need to see your first piece of content as just the milestone that it is. It's about publishing that first piece of content. If you've done that, you've won. If you get 3 views on it, you've better than won. You're like a triple gold star now because it's not about that first piece of content going viral. It's about making that first piece of content. That's what's so incredible. So step 10, don't look at the views it gets. Don't care. Step 11, you're going to kind of start to see a pattern here. Make a second piece of content solving a different specific problem. So like a commonly asked question, specific question. And then this step 11 is to do the exact same thing, which is making a second piece of content solving a different specific problem. So like, what's a question you get asked? I always tell my friends, or I tell my students, what are your friends coming to you for advice on? One of my students was like, well, they're always asking me to plan parties on a budget. I'm really good at making really bougie looking parties, but only spending a few $100s. So they're always coming to me for advice on that. So I would say, okay, so what's a hyper specific problem around budget planning parties? It could be how to get decorations that don't look like crap for $30 or less. That's really specific. But that's interesting. Don't you want to know? I throw so many freaking birthday parties for everybody, or just parties in general. I want to know. So step 12 is to publish that one the next day. And again, don't look at the views it gets and don't care. Just there'll be a time and a place to audit your content. First few days is an audit, which brings us to step 13. For 180 days in a row, make and publish very helpful content. Notice how there's no product at this stage. There's nothing you're selling. For 180 days in a row, make and publish very helpful content. The students who have been able to do this have blown up their businesses, have built a following, have opened doors of opportunity. It is unbelievable what they have been able to accomplish by simply publishing very helpful content, answering very specific questions over and over again for 180 days. I promise you, it feels like a cheat code. This is a cheat code for success. It is insane to me the amount of money I make, the amount of success I have, the amount of opportunities I get because I decided to publish content that was very helpful on Instagram. This is step 14. About 90 days in, start thinking about what product you're going to sell. Not right away. This is very interesting, but not right away because the more you're creating helpful content for your audience, which you decided in step 5, the more you're going to get to know what problems they have, what things they're really struggling with, what things are they asking you about in the comment section of your content, what's something you're hearing over and over and over again. That is the product that you're going to sell. So start thinking about it. You don't have to take any action on it yet. This is step 14. Just start thinking about what would be really helpful. Start paying attention to the clues and the questions and the comments that your audience is leaving. Step 16. I think we're halfway now. Pick a topic. Step 15. Choose if you'll sell a video course, a PDF bundle, or audio files. Now, I just filmed a YouTube video very recently helping you decide this exact question. This is a really good example. Now, every one of these steps I've got stuff on, but this is a really good example of how let's say, for example, you're at step 15. You're like, okay, well, I don't know if I need to be doing a video course. I don't know if I need to be doing a PDF bundle. I don't know if I should be selling audio files. Well, there's an entire YouTube video that I sat down and helped you decide, depending on who you are and what you do and who you're working with and what you're selling, which one you should do. Some people need to do a video course. Some people need to do a PDF bundle. Some people need to do audio files. And it really just depends. But I sat down and filmed a YouTube video to help you decide. So if you go back, it's probably like 5 or 6 videos back, and you can find it. You can also just search my channel. So choose if you're going to sell a video course, PDF bundle, or audio files. Step 16 is to pick a topic for your digital product. So basically, what are you going to teach? What are you going to teach? What do you want to help people with? You'll know, because 180 days is a long time, and you're kind of going to be dying to create that product. So chances are by the time you get to step 16, you're going to know exactly what is the topic for your digital product. And by the way, another YouTube video I just filmed is how to name your digital product. One of the most important things you need to get right is the naming of your digital product. If you mess that up, you're eternally fucked. So excuse my language, but you are. Because people should know exactly what it is they're going to get when they hear what your product is. So I go into that all in the video. Highly recommend you watch that one too. Step 17 is don't skip a single day of posting as you do this. So you're doing all this extra work, but the good news is you are now getting a routine with your content. I have a ton of repurposing stuff, by the way, on this YouTube channel on how to repurpose, so you're not spending tons of time creating content. So I would look into that as well. But step 17, don't skip a single day of posting as you do this. Keep posting. Step 18, do some market research to confirm your product idea. So you have an audience now. You've been creating content. People are following you. People are engaging with your stuff. Ask them what they want. Say, make a poll on your Instagram story, for example. Like, I'm thinking about doing this product or this product. Which one would you find more helpful? Or ask in the comment section. Or I go to books sometimes that are related to my topic, and I read the 3-star reviews on Amazon. People who leave 3-star reviews are pretty fair, but they're bringing up problems that didn't get solved that maybe you can solve. So do market research to confirm your product idea is a good one. Step 19 is to outline your digital product. Again, tons of YouTube videos on how to do that. Knowing what to include in a digital product and what to not put in a digital product is the difference between your product going viral and selling like freaking hotcakes and completely flopping. So you got to do some extra, I recommend you dive into this channel and just watch some videos to help you make a good product, which also brings us to step 20, which is to start creating the digital product. In the video I made a couple of days ago, one of the things that I did was it's another YouTube video, but you shouldn't spend more than 2 hours creating your digital product from start to finish, which is going to be a huge, mind-blowing thing for you because you probably think it takes weeks and months. No, 2 hours, start to finish. In the YouTube video I made the other day, I show you how to do that. Go watch that one. Step 21, finalize your digital product. It's done. You've created it. It's ready to go. It's ready to sell. Step 22, you are now completed your 180 days of publishing helpful content. That's amazing if you did that. Congratulations. Most people can't do that at all. Which brings us to step 23, which is launch your related digital product. Again, watch my YouTube channel for tons of videos on launching. It's insane how many videos I've created on launching a digital product because it's a big moment. You don't want to mess it up. You want to do it the right way. Step 24 is make 5 sales if you don't know what you're doing. So it's like a realistic expectation. If you're new, you don't really know what you're doing, 5 sales is really good for a first launch. Step 25, if you watch my YouTube videos and you feel like you do know what you're doing, you should expect to make 20 to 30 sales. My students who are personally coached by me make 200, 300 sales. That's pretty typical. So just the steps 24 and 5 are helping you expectation set based on what you know and what you're doing. Step 26 is to repeat the 180-day content cycle, but this leads us to step 27. You're going to every single day pitch the new product, but in subtle ways. So I talk about this on my YouTube channel. You should be pitching in such a way people don't even know you're pitching. But I pitch every single day. I make an average of $20,000, almost $25,000 now is my average every single day in cash collected because I pitch every single day in subtle ways. Okay. Step 28 is to build automations to make sales automatically. Huge thing. If you look at my YouTube channel, again, I'm like a broken record here, but I have a ton of different automations that I built to make sales. They're small automations, but they stack. So I probably have, 30 automations a day that just run that make me sales every single day. So build some automations. And the more you do that, the easier your sales process is going to be because it's just happening automatically. I actually do have a course. I forgot that I put this in here. This is step 29. I want to show you the course that I have on this. Hang on, let me show you. So I wasn't gonna make a course on this, but I got asked about it so much, I ended up doing it. It's how I built and automate all my sales process. So it's all my automations. It's how I do it. It's everything that I do, how to keep the process honest and authentic, how to do it in a really simple way. My students just see really, really good results from this. So highly recommend you look into it if it's something you're interested in. It's $27, so it's not expensive at all. But the results that my students get from it is really good. And the thing that I like about it is that it does the work of the selling for you. So you don't have to do sales at all, which is a huge perk for so many people. So again, it's optional. This is I put step 29 is optional because you can do all of this and not take my course. You can figure it out by yourself. But if you want to make it a little easier on yourself, you can. Or step 30, if you want to start a little bit slower, I made an 88-page free guide to doing all of this. It's a little bit less efficient than the course. It's not step by step so much as just think good things for you to know. I would say not general advice because it still is really, really helpful, but the course is like a step-by-step tutorial. So it's step 1, go to this software. Step 2, get this free trial. Step 3, put this link in. So it's very, very step-by-step. That's the nice thing about the course. But you can also just read an 88-page guide if you find that helpful. I'll put the link to that in the description as well. And I'll also put the link to the automated sales course in the description as well. And then step 31, before you do anything else, be sure to start. Oh my God, I messed up my subscribe pitch. But like I said, we're just going through this. I said at the beginning, if I sneeze it's going to be, but step 31 is to subscribe to my YouTube channel. The reason for that is I have so many videos that are coming out specifically on automations and specifically on not just automations, but automating the sales process. So the little things that you can do to get more customers from the same automation. So be sure to hit that subscribe button. I'll see you when I'm sure you're going to go binge a bunch of the videos. So I will see you there.